Hello and welcome to the Real Show YouTube channel. I don't have to do any fancy intro for this, so back in again. We're back at it again. We're back in town. It's the Real Guys, and we're here with part two of what? Part two of what, Corey?
Part 2 of the Raw men's roster. Don't know what that was. That was an accent. That was a accent.
What accent was it?
I was doing my best announcer, I think.
Oh, you gotta do Monday Night Raw. You know, you gotta say it like Vince says it. Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that's more like Vince. Your form wasn't more like Vince.
Yeah, you gotta sound gravelly. Else it don't work. So we have part 2 of another 26 dudes, and we're gonna rank them. We've got Real-tacular, that's your best of the best. We've got Sizzling, that's your second best.
Yeah.
We've got Decent, that's middle of the road, pretty good, decent. You got which is not too much, And you got Itchy and Lumpy. We hate you. You're the worst people ever, Itchy and Lumpy.
I don't think any wrestler has gone in there yet.
No. So far, no wrestler has actually gotten to Itchy and Lumpy. But it'll be coveted, the first person that does it. But will it be today?
Yeah, possibly.
Right. Well, let's jump into it first. You've got the names. You've got the fames.
I do.
So who's up?
We're starting with.
Okay.
We're starting with the Viking Raiders, but specifically, we are starting with Eric of the Viking Raiders.
Yes, I was about to say, in the words of Philip DeFranco, let's jump into it.
Okay.
Nice.
So what's your thoughts on Eric?
Eric of the Viking Raiders, they've just turned up just this week.
Yes.
We're recording this on the Sunday. The Monday previously was the Raw after Mania, and the Viking Raiders showed up and just, cleaned house in a tag team match.
Yeah. I believe it was Ivar that was injured, I think.
Yeah, I know Eric. Is this? I don't know why I think this, but is this the Eric that's married to Sarah Logan?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, I thought it was some other guy called Eric. But it is the Eric of the Viking Raiders that is married to
There's
Sarah
not
Logan.
many Erics in WWE or in wrestling in general, to be honest.
So I like the Viking Raiders. They're guys.
I do.
I think they may end up in the same position as the Street Profits, where we just put them in decent.
Yeah.
I'm not. I've got no problem with that. They're good in ring work. Good. They look tough.
I mean, I think decent's fair. We're obviously going to have to, like the Street Profits, try and figure out which one goes in front.
Right. I think. Well, Ivar got injured, and I know that's not his fault.
Fair.
But
yeah.
Eric has been sort of working more, and.
I mean, that's kind of what we did with. The first part, we were like, right, Priest has just come up, therefore Ali's better than him.
Yeah, we're ranking them, on everything, on look, on in-ring work, on style, on performance, on aesthetic, on presentation, everything. So, I think they're together. They're definitely together. It's 50-50. But in terms of who's been working more, I think Eric's been working more because unfortunately Ivar's been injured. But I know that's not his fault. But
that's fair. We'll whack him in.
Right, that's two done right off the bat.
Boom! Look at that.
Cleaning house. Who's up?
Grand Metalik.
Right, Grand Metalik. Another member of the Lucha House Party.
Yes.
But what has he been doing recently? What can you remember?
Same as Lindsay, I guess. Not really anything. Yeah, I can't. I think I said to Lindsay, I don't think I can remember the last time I've seen him on TV.
Really?
No.
I think I remember. Was he in the Raw after Mania?
It could have been.
It's possible that he was there. It could have been some kind of backstage segment or whatever. But as we said with the Lucha House Party, they've really not done so much. Like, they tried to split them up, but then it was just like 2 guys versus 1 guy. So, I don't really know.
It's a tough one. Do you remember we put Lindsay? Did we put him in air?
I think we did put him in air, to be honest.
Well, I guess I mean, I'm fine with putting Metalik in air.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go for air then. We'll put him in air.
There he goes. Now, this is going to be an interesting one.
Yes, indeed, actually.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny himself. You know what? I'm a fan.
I quite enjoyed it.
I'll say it now. I'm a fan. I quite like Bad Bunny.
I say I enjoyed it. I'm assuming it's. I talk like it's finished. It could still be going, but who knows?
The feud between The Miz and And Bad Bunny, obviously. Yeah.
Yes.
But let's say how this started. It started off with we recapped this in the last episode, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
In night one, we said the Bad Bunny came out. He performed this song with Booker T about Booker T.
Yeah.
And then the Miz was like, "Oh, I'm the Hollywood star, Bad Bunny. You're on my, turf." And then they trashed his car. The Miz made a shitty music video, and Bad Bunny's repeatedly punched him in the face. And then they had a WrestleMania match with Damian Priest serving as Bad Bunny's friend, Bad Bunny's ally, and they both won. Mostly in part to the work of Bad Bunny.
Yes, we said this in our Mania review about how, surprisingly, Bunny, I think, got most of the offense in.
He did. He was doing a Canadian Destroyer on the outside.
I love that.
He was jumping off the ropes. He was throwing hands. He was doing great. I love when, I said this a lot before, but I love when celebrities get in on the action and really look like they want to be there. And I was like, fake wrestling, whatever. But Bad Bunny actually has some reverence and knows what he's doing and wants to know more and wants to be in on the action, in on the party. So I think that's fantastic.
So where would you put him?
Honestly, he's going to go to decent.
I think he is as well.
He's going to go to decent, a mid decent, I think, for Bad Bunny for one match. Right, judging him off one match and a couple of promo segments and a couple of backstage segments, I think decent, mid decent for Bad Bunny.
You want to split up the Viking Raiders?
No, behind the Viking Raiders.
Okay.
That's still mid, I'd say. That's still mid.
Fair enough.
Right, now we have this fellow. We have Babatunde, formerly Dabba-Kato, formerly Babatunde of Raw Underground. Or I think he was in a Royal Rumble or something. He was a jobber in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he was, I think.
Now we have him as Commander Aziz. Is that his name?
Is it Commander General? It's one of them.
It's Commander Aziz, I think, and he is the military ally, the bodyguard of Apollo Crews. Yeah. So he just showed up at WrestleMania 37 and sort of choke slam Biggie, gave him a couple of slams, helped Apollo win. So,
I mean, he's not been on TV for long. He has been a couple of times before Underground, but
he was in something though. You know, WWE make all these movies, and one of them that I've actually watched. They made one called The Main Event, which was about this kid who finds this secret lucha master that gives you fantastic
that's the
powers.
thing with The Miz, isn't it?
Yeah, thing with The Miz. The Miz is in it.
Yeah.
But this guy is also in it. He plays the villain. He's like the Brock Lesnar type. He has this weasel manager figure who's like Paul Heyman, but he's like the Brock Lesnar type, who's really strong and doesn't say anything, and he's just like a big dumb brute. And I guess he's playing sort of the similar character where he doesn't say anything. He's just a big, tall bodyguard guy who can choke slam you, look really intimidating, and be really strong.
So, are we including his movie appearance in this as well?
No, we're not including his movie appearances. We're including him in Raw Underground as Dabba-Kato, in that Raw Rumble that one time, and Commander Aziz, who they're acting like is a new character. I think that's very funny every time they do that. They're all like, who's this new figure who's on the scene? We literally just saw him about a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Or whenever they closed down Raw Underground.
I mean, he's okay.
Right. I need to see more of him, to be honest.
That's the thing. That's the thing, yeah.
He might get to air, but top air.
I was thinking that. It's fine by me.
Okay, that's decisive enough.
Yeah,
right, who's up?
Humberto Carrillo.
Okay, well, you're going to have to give me a little bit of... I don't know very much about this guy, so...
Okay, so from my recollection of memory, came up round about the same time as Garza. Was part of the whole Andrade Garza situation. But he split off. So when Andrade and Garza were a team, Humberto split off from them. Had some matches with Rey Mysterio. They were quite good. And then, I can't really remember what else he did. He kind of went away for a bit after the whole Selena Vega disappearance thing. And he was at a Raw before Mania. He didn't do anything. MVP and Lashley went to the back and were like, "Oh, we need someone to defeat McIntyre." Anyone? Yeah, he was stood wearing a turtleneck sweater, I believe. So he's backstage. He's not done much. It's a Master League situation where he hasn't really done anything.
Is the turtleneck sweater relevant?
I mean, he was also wearing a chain and a turtleneck sweater. Maybe he's a big Lonely Island fan.
He was wearing a turtleneck and a necklace.
Yes. I mean, I think he's an heir. He hasn't done anything. It's not his fault. He's just not been on TV.
Right. So bottom heir then.
Yeah. Well, has he done more than? No, okay, no, I'll put bottom. I think Metalik probably has done more than he has recently.
Yeah, Metalik, I'd say have. And also, he's in a group.
True.
Metalik's in Lucha House Party. I think being in a stable is a bit more of an advantage because you have other guys to lean on. But with Humberto Carrillo, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Right, I'll give you this next guy.
Well, next is Riker.
Yes, Jackson Riker, number 1.
Yes.
I can't believe they don't have him come out to the ring in a Star Trek uniform. That'd be funny.
Ally to Elias.
Yeah, allied to Elias is like best friend or something.
I guess. This is a weird one because again, so obviously he's part of the Forgotten Sons.
Yeah.
In NXT, they came to the main roster. Forgotten Sons got split, and then
they did because WWE has some weird fetish for splitting tag teams.
Yeah, and then I can't remember one of them. Names.
They do it a lot.
Not Blake and not Striker, but one of them got released.
I think Blake got released.
No. One got released before them. Blake's just got released.
Oh right, okay. God,
yeah.
I can't keep track of all this. You know, it's chaos.
Yeah. So one got released ages ago, and then they were split.
What in the initial Black Wednesday?
Yeah, or it might have been about halfway between because I think they turned up. Blake and the other one turned up with Corbin for like a day. Were like Corbin's bodyguards.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They were wearing hoodies.
Yes. And then Riker turned up with Elias for a bit, and has kind of just become his, I guess, apprentice. I don't know what he is.
I think he's just his bodyguard, his friend, his
Is he supposed to be like his roadie, where he kind of comes along with him?
Yeah, I guess. But he's been in matches for him, and Elias is like, "Oh, can you help me out with like Braun Strowman and Shane Mack and that sort of thing?" And Jackson Riker's like, "Oh, I don't know if I can help you with Braun Strowman. He's a big strong man." That kind of stuff. So I think he's like sort of the roadie follower type character. Like...
Yeah, but it's not gone anywhere because it seems like they were leading to because like there were times where Elias would lose, Riker would then like have an impromptu match and he would win, and it's like okay, this is going to lead to Riker beating Elias, right?
Yeah, or like Elias being jealous of Riker's success and trying to do something about it.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think they've done anything with it. I can't remember the last. Again, similar thing. I don't know when the last time he turned up was. I know it's probably recent. I just can't remember when. Well, I said the last time he turned up would have been Raw when it was fighting Strowman and Shane's like, oh, you can get your musical performance at Mania if you help me out, and then he lost to Braun and he turns up at Mania and they do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we got to do the normal stuff. Is he better? Is he done more than Creo? Yes, he's been on TV. Is he done more than Humberto and Metalik? Yes. Is he done more than Aziz? Yes, because Aziz is new.
Top air then.
Yeah.
I do not see Jackson Riker getting to decent.
No, and I also want to mention this has nothing to do with his political views.
What?
Have you heard about that?
What's up with his political views?
How have you missed? About a year ago, he put a tweet out as supporting Trump and saying Trump was great, and everyone hated him after that.
Oh right, okay. Well, let's not mention his political views. We do not. This is wrestling.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he may not be a very good wrestler. So, well, not he's a bad wrestler, just that he's not getting a lot of time or focus, or WWE are kind of jostling him about and nothing to do with him.
Exactly.
This does not reflect the political views of anyone or the views of the real show as a whole. The views of Jackson Riker does not reflect the views of the real show as a whole. He's not affiliated with us in any way. Anyway, Booker T, I see, is there.
Not just Booker T, Murray.
King Booker.
King Booker.
King Booker T.
It's my impression of. I love King Booker. He's so good.
Nice. I think I know where King Booker may be going.
King Booker has to go somewhere.
Right. Well, he's going above decent, isn't he?
He is definitely going above decent.
He's one of those guys that has been, as I said, a lot of people. Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And when we did the SmackDown list, it was Rey Mysterio. When we did part 1, it was The Miz and a couple others. Guys that have been around for so long that they now have inspired people to be in wrestling now, or wrestlers now.
Yes.
And they're in the same company of people who they've inspired, who they've influenced. Booker T was like one of the biggest black wrestlers of the 1990s and the early 2000s.
Yeah. And obviously he did stuff in WCW with Harlem Heat.
Yep.
A whole five-time champion.
Mm-hmm.
Came to WWE, and then eventually became King of the Ring, and then became King Booker, which I think is my personal favourite, or one of my personal favourite parts of Booker T's career.
Well, I know of King Booker is all the memes of him, like with the money. Him doing that wave when he's dressed all in his king attire and he's on the throne, and I know that sort of thing. I know he fought Steve Austin once in a shopping supermarket.
Yep, he's done all sorts. Now he does like pre-shows and talk shows for stuff. He plugs his shucky ducky quack quack every time he can do it.
He does. He's on he's on backstage sometimes as well.
Yeah, he does some backstage stuff. He's around and he's always.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes,
he must be. He's a two-time, isn't he?
He went in. I know he definitely went in like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was on his own. Because I think Stevie Ray inducted him. I could be wrong. Oh no, Harlem Heat went in 2 years ago. That was it. I think Harlem Heat went in. Yeah, so he must be two-time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
So I think, he's two-time Hall of Famer. I know every time they say it, they say, oh, it's Booker T, two-time Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
I think
he's worth it. He deserves it. He's been in there for a while. So. Yeah. But where should we put Booker T? King Booker.
He's a king. There's only one place fit for a king, Murray.
Is that Real-tacular?
That is Real-tacular.
Okay, go on there. Go on, put him in there.
Go on, there it is.
Not sure if we'll get very far, but he's going up there.
Probably not, but I mean, he's number one for now.
Right, yes. We'll see how long he takes that. I can't quite see that image. You have to tell me who that is.
That is Omos kicking.
Right, okay,
that's Omos kicking the guitar from Riker, to save AJ Styles.
No, thank you for that very vivid description there.
Very welcome.
Omos is the former bodyguard of Raw Underground.
Yep.
Who's now become Omos. And also, they didn't have to change his name because that guy wasn't given a name.
So no, he didn't have one.
Canonically, that was Omos, who's the guard of Raw Underground.
Yeah, it's still the same guy. Current Raw SmackDown. That's the word, isn't it? Current Raw Tag Team Champion.
Raw Tag Team with AJ Styles. Yeah, won that at WrestleMania. He's just your big guy. I think Omos has probably more personality than Commander Aziz has.
I think he does as well.
Because Omos seems to have his affinity with AJ Styles. He's his bodyguard, but he's also like his partner or something. Yeah,
well, there was that stuff with the stuff with the New Day where he's like, "Oh, Omos AJ doesn't even know you," and he's like, "Oh, what's your favourite colour?" And he kept getting it wrong, and he kept asking the questions. Like, at least Omos talks, and he does have a somewhat person. Like, he's to be fair, he's decent at comedy. He can be funny.
Yeah, but also he's good at standing by the ring and looking really scary, and then Kofi Kingston goes up to him and he's like, "Oh," trying to back away. And Omos like, I'm a really tall, big man. I can crush you with my fist. And
yeah, well, he did the whole thing where they'll dive and they'll catch him. He got some eliminations at the Rumble.
Yeah, he did.
Because he came out of the Rumble. I mean, he's good to watch. He's fun to watch. Obviously, I don't think his championship run will be that long, but I mean, it's interesting him having it. Mm-hmm. And I think I'd put him above Air because he's fun. He's doing stuff.
Do you think they'll be defending it at Backlash?
Probably.
Whatever they're calling it now, WrestleMania Backlash.
It's WrestleMania Backlash, yeah.
That's such a stupid name, but that's an issue for another time.
I think they will. They might lose it then.
Backlash. Right, okay. Where's Omos going to go then?
I'd say probably decent.
Yeah, decent. I think I was putting him above Bad Bunny, I'd say, just because we've seen more of Omos in the ring than we have of Bad Bunny in the ring. But that's no insult to Bad Bunny.
Whoops.
Oops, not in sizzling. He's not good yet. There we go.
There we go.
Nice.
God, these things are finicky.
Okay. Do you want to woo or shall I?
You can give it a go. I don't think I quite got the high pitch for it.
He goes, woo!
There we go.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad, actually.
That wasn't, actually.
I worked on that. I didn't actually work on that. It was natural. That was a natural woo. We have the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Yes.
The limousine riding, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, high flying, champagne sipping, whatever he is, you know.
Yep, Mr. Styling and Profiling.
Yeah, Mr. Styling and Profiling with the figure 4, with the whatever else he does. It's Ric Flair.
Really saying Ric Flair here, mate.
I know, but many people say that he is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yes, been around for ages, for decades now.
He is. Now he's just kind of this, sort of lovable grandpa figure, where he's going around in his 3-piece suit and he's doing the dance where he slaps his arms. I'm doing it now. You can sort of hear it. Check if his circulation's still going. He's that old.
Yeah, I mean, obviously involved in the Charlotte Flair / Lacey Evans storyline.
From the Charlotte Flair Lacey Evans feud.
Yep.
Very short-lived.
Yes, Lacey Evans is currently pregnant, so that feud's
always
kind of
Flair out when Charlotte's doing something, which I don't really agree with, because Charlotte should really be her own woman. But that's another point for another day.
I mean, again, he's turning up. He's a legend of the wrestling business.
He's been in wrestling's been around for 125 years, 200 years, and Ric Flair has been a decent chunk of that time.
Exactly. So again, there's only one place he can go.
Yeah, put him in Real Tacular. We'll talk about him WWF, WWE.
I know the answer to this. The answer is probably going to be yes. Does he beat Booker T to his throne?
Yes, I think so. Purely because, he's the Nature Boy. He's been around for the longest of long times. Many people say, oh yeah, I was inspired by Ric Flair. He's one of those guys, again, where half the roster, watched him as kids. And now they're around him, and he has his own family. His daughter does it. I think a couple of his sons did it as well for a time.
Yeah, one of his sons at least definitely did.
Mm-hmm. And I think that he's just a legend. He is the quintessential wrestling legend. He's even got a song about him in Ric Flair Drip, if you ever listen to it.
So that's what Road Tackler's become now. Have a song written about you and you'll get in Road Tackler.
Oh no, Booker T. Yeah, they do actually. If you have a song written about you, then you can go to Road Tackler. Everyone else, no. So, who is up next?
Well, these next 4 could all be shooting for high places.
Yeah, it's the Hurt Business.
Next 4, the Hurt Business. First up, we got Shelton Benjamin.
Right. Well, I know he returned in the 2019 Royal Rumble.
Well, yeah, his return before that was the whole partnering with Chad Gable situation.
Yes.
Where American Alpha was split up. Jason Jordan went in his own way. This is before the whole he's Kurt Angle's son thing. And they're like, oh, Chad Gable, we've got you a new partner. It's Shelton Benjamin, which essentially made American Alpha 2.0.
Yeah.
And then he didn't do much. And then, yes, he returned in a Rumble. And the Hurt Business, I didn't realise this until I looked it up again, started in Raw Underground. There's another one from Raw Underground.
Yes.
MVP turned up. We'll get to MVP later. And then they were a Raw Underground thing, and Shelton Benjamin has now become the tag team with Cedric. They have a tag team version in the Raw Underground. In the Hurt Business. They have 2 of them. They have a duo.
Well, now, unfortunately, as of this recording,
yes,
the Hurt Business is split up.
Yes, they're no longer part of the Hurt Business.
Yeah, but we will be judging them as the Hurt Business because they shouldn't have split them up in the first place, should they? Again, it's once again WWE's fetish for splitting up tag teams. Cough, cough, Iconics. Cough, cough, Hurt Business. Cough, cough, most tag teams.
Yeah, Heavy Machinery.
Heavy Machinery. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. I don't know why you build your tag team division and you fill it with just shitty oddball teams, and then you break up teams that actually work and are actually good together, like the Hurt Business. But Horrible. Anyway, fun fact: did you know this? The Hurt Business was originally going to be the name for NXT's Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
But then it was given to obviously MVP's group with Bobby Lashley and Cedric and Shelton Benjamin. So.
I mean, I think it works better for MVP's
yeah, it does,
group.
I think. So, where do you think Shelton Benjamin is going to go?
I mean, he's similar.
I would have been sizzling with little argument, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm thinking at least sizzling, but he has the advantage other than the others, except for MVP. But where Shelton Benjamin again has been in the wrestling thing for not as long as others. I think 20-ish years, nearly.
Yeah, he's been around for between not Attitude Era, but like early 2000s WWE.
Ruthless aggression is the word you're looking for.
Ruthless aggression. There you go. The ruthless aggression era. Thank you very much. Put him in sizzling then.
Yeah.
Now we have his fellow Hurt Business brother. We have Cedric Alexander.
We have the Pitbull.
Yes.
That's my Pitbull, as MVP would say.
Yeah. So, what do you think of Cedric Alexander?
This is a similar thing with Apollo Crews that I've mentioned on the SmackDown roster. I liked him as a wrestler when he was a face, as in like his moveset was great, his look was great. His theme song before he was with the Hurt Business was fantastic. I loved his theme song. But it was just a case of similar to Apollo, they weren't doing anything with him. He was just a face who was like, look at me, I'm really happy, and would just lose. Now with the Hurt Business,
look at me, I'm really happy, and then I lose.
Exactly. Now with the Hurt Business, he's doing fantastic. Or was with the Hurt Business, he's doing fantastic.
He was really given a boost by the Hurt Business in around 2020 time. The Hurt Business was like one of those groups that carried us through the pandemic era. It was Hurt Business, Drew McIntyre. They were like the group, the people you could really gravitate towards and really follow. So
yeah, I mean he's doing good. He's doing really good. More excited to see him now on TV than I have been.
Yeah. The Hurt Business are giving him a boost. It's a shame that they've broken up the Hurt Business, but apart from that blip, I'd say Cedric Alexander will make sizzling alongside Shelton Benjamin.
Above or behind?
Well, behind, just for the fact I don't think he's been in the business as long as Shelton Benjamin.
No, he hasn't.
Right. Now, you've got to make way for the mob boss himself, for the chief gangster, the most valued. That's what MVP stands for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the most valued player, MVP. Now, I wish we would have got a picture of MVP in his like slick suit with his gangster cane and his sunglasses, but it doesn't really matter. I like when he turned up in the Royal Rumble in that like Black Panther gear. That was cool. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Black Panther. It was Killmonger, wasn't it, from the film?
Yes.
Yeah, but that was cool. I like that. Very slick. I like that. He looked pretty badass. But yeah, I'm a fan of MVP. Great promo. Great charisma. It's unfortunate that he can't be in the ring, but he's still as good on the mic. I like him as the manager, sort of as I said, the mob boss of the Hurt Business. He's the guy that's calling the shots. He's the guy that is on the mic, doing the promo, cutting the promo. So yeah, I'm. This is early, but I'm happy for MVP to go real tacular. Yeah,
I was thinking a similar wavelength. He's been around similar-ish time than Shelton. Used to be wrestler, the whole TikTok thing, good entrance, not TikTokers in the app. Used to be a baller, that was his name of his finishing move, the weird like elbow drop thing he did.
Yeah.
Went away for a bit, came back at the Rumble, got a massive pop, and then
yeah, he did, big return.
And then signed with WWE, and then became the manager / occasional wrestler until he got injured with the Hurt Business. And then, as you said, comes out with a cane now because he needs it to walk, but it also fits, which is great.
Yeah, I love that cane. It looks
it's like good, isn't it?
Comes out with his pimp cane, and he comes and his flash pinstripe 3-piece suit and his sunglasses. And his chains. He looks really cool when he's walking out there. So
I think one of my main things I like about MVP is not only is he good on the mic, but like whenever the Hurt Business were having a match, you could always hear him shouting like 24/7.
You
and
could.
I love it.
I always love when he shouts at Bobby Lashley. He goes, "You're the chief hurt officer."
Exactly.
To the point where I always say it now. When Bobby Lashley turns up, he goes, "That's the chief hurt officer."
He's great at what he does. He's good at what he does, and even though the Hurt Business are split, I think he is the reason why all three of them got as big as they were.
Yeah, it was him.
MVP.
It was his boost. It was his charisma and his sort of flavour on the mic. So
Real Tactically is where he goes. Now we have to ask the question of where.
Oh, I'd like to see him go between Ric Flair and Booker T, but I know that you're a fan of King Booker, so again, I wouldn't be mad either if he just made Real just a B in Real Tactical, if you know what I mean, even if he's behind Booker T. Or really, okay,
he can go in between.
Explain yourself, Corey making the play.
I like MVP, and he's still around, and I like MVP. Yeah.
Yeah.
MVP is my pitbull. He's not.
Okay. Well, now we have the Chief Hurt Officer, the CHO of the Hurt Business. They're sort of their leader. If MVP is like the mouth, he's like the mouthpiece. He's like the guy on the mic. Then Bobby Lashley is the muscle. He's the big leader. He's the guy who's in charge. MVP like his advisor kind of. But Bobby Lashley is the guy that's leading. That's at the front. That's at the vanguard. That's leading the Hurt Business towards championship victory. So what do you think of Bobby Lashley?
I mean, again, to be fair, been around for a while. Again, Ruthless Aggression era, ECW former champion with WWE version.
I know from TNA. A lot of time in TNA.
This is the thing. So he went off to TNA, and then he did. At the time, his best work of his career was essentially similar to what he is now. There's a monster heel would come out, spear anyone in half, won the belts. I also
he got all the belts, didn't he? In some,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also did MMA. Went to Bellator. Did actual fights.
He did.
Before Jake Hager did it. I was going to point that out.
Didn't he do really well in
he did
as well?
Yeah. he did pretty good.
Which sometimes surprised me. You know, sometimes you get like a CM Punk type. But just look at Bobby Lashley. He's not only got the physicality. He's not got what am I trying to say? He's not only got the look of a guy that could mess you up, but he could actually mess you up.
Yes. Came back, and then didn't do much when he came back.
No.
I remember.
He had some sort of weird feud with like that Irish bloke.
Yeah, I remember. He won the IC belt. I believe he won it off Finn, or Finn won it off Lashley. It's one of the ways round.
Yeah.
He had, who was his manager at some point? He had it was Leo Rush, wasn't it?
Yeah, Leon Rush, I think so.
Leo Rush was his manager, which was good because as much as I love Lashley, do not give him a mic.
No, he's not very good on the mic. I think he sounds too soft-spoken.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing with Brock. Very rarely do you want to hear Brock talk.
No, I think he sounds too soft-spoken. He sounds too... Obviously, I know he's a very intelligent man.
Yes.
And he's very smart, and he's very aware, and he's very intelligent. But I don't think that translates when, you're 20 foot of muscle and you're as wide as 2 double-decker buses. I think you don't need a mic. You just need to be there and and give it the grunt and be really tough. But you don't need to be there and, hello, my name's Bobby Lashley. I'm here to talk about the fact that I'll be spearing you in half in about 2 minutes. No, you don't need to say anything like that. You just stand there, you look mean, and you have somebody on the mic hyping you up.
Exactly. And then obviously he came back, did the Hurt Business stuff. And then we got the moment we have a couple weeks ago where Miz wins against Drew. Yeah, Bobby comes out.
Miz cashes in with Money in the Bank.
Yep. Bobby comes out. Drew. Bobby comes out, spears Drew, and it's turned out that Miz got the Hurt Business to help. Bobby gets the match if he helps Miz. Gets the match. At Chamber, not Chamber. What's the one? Oh no, he got it on Raw, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, I think he did actually.
Just got a match on Raw. Bob won the belt on Raw. Mania faces Drew and makes him pass out.
Yeah.
and wins dominantly against McIntyre, and is currently your champion until someone beats him. I don't know who.
I think, especially we're coming out of the pandemic era.
Yep.
We're having sort of short on and off reigns. It's time to give people long reigns again, please.
Yes.
I know WWE was acting like the world was going to end every couple of days. So like, right, we have to do every single instant decision right now. But we don't have to do that anymore because we're coming out of the pandemic. Things are looking a little bit brighter in the world. So let's try and give people longer reigns. Let's try and stick it out and stick with them. If you've got some of the best talent in the world, just let them have the belt, let them be good with the belt, and that's all you need.
Exactly. And he's doing great. His match at Mania was one of my favourites.
Yeah, and opening night one, it's tough to open night one.
Yeah.
But the crowd, everyone was down about the weather delay. Everyone was feeling depressed and feeling like, oh, why did I come here? You needed something hot to pop the crowd, hype the crowd, get some good feelings going. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. It's an instant classic.
Yeah, I mean he's champion currently. Has his match been? Oh, is he facing Drew again at Backlash?
It's possible he's going to face Drew again at Backlash. I don't think I'd want to see that. I'd want to see maybe someone facing somebody else. But I
think everyone, and me included, wants to see Lashley versus Brock. However,
yeah, but again, it's one of those things where I enjoyed Bobby versus Drew. I wouldn't like to see Bobby versus Drew every day.
No,
but because I get sick of it. But every now and then, Bobby versus Drew, I'll be up for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'd happily see Bobby versus Brock. I'd want Bobby to win, 100%. And I think it's a smart decision to have Bobby win.
But also, Brock loves to put people over. As much as Brock is, I know we're going to talk about Brock Lesnar for a minute, but as much as Brock is, the beast, the guy who'll wreck everybody, punch everybody, suplex City, F5 City, and all that, Brock loves to put people over. Because when Brock believes in you, and when Brock knows that you're hot shit, Brock will put you over like no man's business. Like look at his matches with Daniel Bryan. And I don't want to say Seth Rollins. Has Brock ever faced Seth Rollins?
Yeah, he's faced Seth, he's faced Dean, he's faced Roman.
Yeah.
Finn,
basically,
he faced.
When Brock likes you, when Brock knows that you're going to be big, Brock will sell the hell out for you.
Yeah.
And I think he could do the same with Bobby. I know they sort of they've not really crossed paths very much, but I'd like to see it.
I'd happily see it. I mean, again, I think there's only one place Bobby can go.
You know what? I think I'm happy to put him above Ric Flair.
Yeah, you know what?
Bobby Lashley is the here and now, and Bobby Lashley is
here now champion.
Yeah,
he is one of. Well, he's the face of Raw, isn't he?
Yeah, he is one of the faces of Raw, and and he's the guy on the poster. It's Bobby Lashley, WWE champion.
Exactly.
So also his suit's not bad either. If we're leveling suit game. Did you see when he was walking into the Raw after Mania? He's wearing that orange suit with like the red tie. He looked really fly. He looked really baller.
Really fly. Baller.
Yeah. Okay. Who have we got there? Who's next?
We've got Ricochet.
Ricochet, right.
Now,
his choice of girlfriend aside, Ricochet is said to be one of the best, high-flying wrestlers, athletic types working today.
Well, working today, again, I don't know when he last appeared.
He last appeared facing Drew. Drew was on Raw, and Drew was getting really pissed, and Drew busted into the locker room like, oh, who thinks they can handle me? Who thinks they can handle Drew McIntyre? I'll take out all of you. Why aren't you coming after an opportunity? That kind of thing. And he squared up to Ricochet. Ricochet was like, right, I'll take you out. I'll take you on. And Ricochet lost. But it was kind of, he was just stepping up and he was coming back. And I know there was everyone was so happy to see him turn up again. But yeah, that was the last time we saw Ricochet. It was on Raw. It was about couple of weeks before WrestleMania.
I think his last storyline, if I'm not mistaken, I think the last storyline he was involved in was for Retribution one.
Yes.
Where it was Ricochet, Cedric, Ali were fighting Retribution, it's Retribution because Retribution were fighting a Hurt Business. And then it turns out Ali turns on him and he's the leader of Retribution and blah blah blah. And then Cedric goes off to do the Hurt Business, and then Ricochet is just left.
I think Ricochet, Mustafa Ali had kind of a mini feud with Ricochet.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali was like, "Come and join me in Retribution."
Yeah,
Ricochet.
and then Retribution and Hurt Business kept fighting each other.
Yeah.
And then Retribution. I mean, obviously, Hurt Business won that. Or I say that actually, the split. But I mean, they chose to split.
They're sort of coming together, and MVP is sort of recruiting Retribution to be in the Hurt Business.
Maybe Ricochet will become part of that. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I'd like to see it. I like a good faction war, but
true.
Yeah, Ricochet. It's undoubtable. You know, his skills. He's really quick. He's really fast. He loves the high flying moves. He loves to jump and hop and fly around the ring. So I think he's a good talent. Sizzling, top decent. That's where I put him. But I'm going to throw this to you, Corey.
I was thinking the same thing. I think he either goes above the Viking Raiders or below Cedric. I don't know which one.
I'm happy for you to make the call. I'm going to leave this all with you.
You know what? We saw him somewhat recent, and he's good at what he does. We'll put him bottom sizzling. We just need to see more of him, because he is actually really good at what he does.
Mm.
And hasn't won a belt, I don't think.
Has he not?
Main roster, I don't think he has, no.
Oh, okay.
He should do. Oh, no, wait a minute. Did he win tag with Black?
It's...
Possibly.
On main roster?
Yeah, because him and Lance Black tag team when they both came up at the same time.
Oh, citation needed. It's highly possible.
They might have done. If not, I don't think he has.
We'll have to find out.
Also, he might have won the United States. We'll figure it out. We'll find out.
Right, who's that next?
That's Riddick Moss. I had to Google who this guy was. I forgot he existed.
Right, okay. Well, he's clearly not been on Raw for a long time,
no,
has he?
Former 24/7 champion Riddick Moss, as you can tell by the picture.
Oh, okay. It's one of the 24/7 championship guys.
Yeah, I remembered who he was after searching him up and finding pictures for him. He was Mojo Rawley's bodyguard for a little bit, who then pinned Mojo for the belt and essentially hasn't been seen since.
Right, okay. There's your whistle-stop tour on who Riddick Moss is. Well, I think Air is calling his name.
I think Air is definitely calling his name.
If you're reduced to chasing R-Truth for the 24/7 championship, you're not going to get anywhere past decent.
Yeah. I mean...
Unless you're Kane that one time.
Yeah, but Kane wasn't even chasing around. I think R-Truth just turned up and Kane just binned him.
It wasn't even Kane. It was Tennessee, Knoxville County, Mayor Glenn Jacobs. Bottom Air, Corey.
Well, he's not been on TV for ages, has he? It's Humberto has.
Okay. Right, we'll skip. Okay, possibly the shortest tier list ranking ever for Riddick Moss. But let's move on.
But as long as his main roster run.
Yeah. Now it's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. You know the theme.
Nice.
I can't do it very well. I know Motorhead has performed. Is it Motorhead?
It is Motorhead. Motorhead have done both his themes.
Yeah, I know that Motorhead have done it. I love listening to it. I love, Triple H is one of the. He is again a quintessential WWE legend. You can't think of the business, the company, without thinking of Triple H. So, Hunter Hurst Helmsley, he is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
It's, again, been around for ages, done a lot of stuff, runs NXT currently.
Yeah.
Turns up every now and then, faced Batista at Mania. I believe that's his last match. Could be wrong.
He had a kind of a street fight thing with Randy Orton on Raw once, I know.
Yeah. Well, he had a match against Orton at one point, and then The Fiend turned up halfway through.
And then he just disappeared.
Yeah, Triple H just wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, just teleported him. He landed at home in his.
Wonder where he turned up. Triple H like in the middle of a desert somewhere or something. It's great, I am.
Oh, but he's got this sort of. He's not the commissioner, not what Steph is. He's got some kind of rank, hasn't he? He's like the administrator or something like that and he's the head guy in NXT. So everyone in NXT is kind of he's their boss, and he is which I really applaud. I think NXT is possibly my favorite brand in the grand scope of the company.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's clear that Triple H, as a wrestler, as a guy that knows how the business works, really likes to take care of his talents and really likes to give them good stuff to work with, give them juicy material. It's like Triple H has turned NXT into this just really great breeding ground of wrestlers. Like, I cannot think of one someone that's come from NXT in the last couple of years that isn't just absolutely stellar. That I don't really like. So, still,
true.
Yeah, I know a couple of the guys aren't great, but the NXT Women's Division, that is beautiful work. I think NXT has the greatest women's roster there is in WWE at the moment. Maybe Raw, but with Asuka and Charlotte and now Rhea, but I guess NXT have been holding it down for the longest time. And that's in part to Triple H, in part to his work with Chyna and his work with Stephanie. It's clear he obviously gives a shit. It's clear that he gives a shit not only about women, but also about wrestling as a whole, about making NXT sort of this perfect place to not only breed and show off new talent, but also to create this next generation of superstars. Sorry, that was me. That was me just talking about NXT. But...
I mean, you've pretty much covered all bases. It's been around for ages. DX was great. His current stuff's been okay. His match with Batista was good, maybe a bit too long.
Actually, his match against Ric Flair was...
Yeah.
He's had great matches with everybody. Triple H is one of those guys who he will work his ass off, and he will really show up on the day. And he's got that great intro where he does the spit take that everybody's done.
True.
He's got his sledgehammer. He's got his chains. He's like the king. He comes out with like the big cape and the big helmet and stuff, and the motorhead. He's just absolutely awesome. Really awesome.
I mean, again, like the other people who have been in the business for ages, I wonder where we're going to put him.
Yeah. And also another thing that I like to mention when I mention these sort of veteran legend characters is that they've inspired people who are working in the company right now. They ask people, "Oh, who did you watch as a kid?" "I watched Triple H." And now you're in a company, a business which is partly owned by Triple H.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Do you think it was really weird if like you've watched him all your life, you're inspired by him, and now you're walking around in a company, you're seeing him sort of in the hallway just as this guy, in a suit who's in charge, who sits in gorilla position, and it must be surreal. I can't imagine it. But yeah, Triple H, bona fide legend. We could talk about him all day. I could talk about him all day. So let's skip all that and let's put him in Realtacular.
Where do I want to go?
I'd say he's an authority figure now, isn't he?
Yes.
He's head of the authority. I think he's not wrestled for a bit. He did wrestle Randy that one time, but we're not going to really count that. I'd say second Realtacular.
Fair enough.
Purely because this is the 2021-2020 list, and he hasn't shown up on air that much in 2020. But I think he was also one of those guys who, when the pandemic first hit, the first thing you saw on Friday Night SmackDown was Triple H. And he was saying, that we know the world's gone to crap, but let us try and entertain you as we've always tried to do with this, new era of shows. So, yeah, I applaud Triple H. I really do. He's just a hero of wrestling. And one of my heroes. So, there we go. Up in Realtacular.
Well, next we've got his tag team partner.
From DX,
Some would describe this man as a sexy boy.
Sexy boy. He's not your boy toy.
No, he's not. He's just a sexy boy.
Yes, it is HBK. Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. I mean...
The super kick. The sweet chin music.
Again, similar thing with Triple H. Been around for ages. Inspired millions of people. And wrestlers... Done everything. I know he's still involved in NXT, just not as much.
He is, actually.
Not as much as
more
Triple
behind
H
the
is.
scenes than Hunter is.
Yes, he's more like teachery, match based.
Yeah,
sort
he
of.
does a lot in the PC. I know he does a lot in the PC with a couple of guys like Hardcore Holly and Scotty 2 Party. They train the guys, girls behind the scenes, and they're at the PC, and they're sort of helping to shape the new generation of superstars, and they're doing really, really well, as I said. But I think that as sort of a founding pillar of the company, HBK is one of those guys you remember. I'll let you talk. I've talked for a while. I'll let you talk a bit about HBK. You a fan? What do you think?
I like him. As far as Attitude Era goes, he was good. He's definitely up there. I think I was more. If we're going by DX, I was definitely, I think, more of a Triple H guy. Maybe. Saying that, as far as finishers go, and we mentioned this last time, Sweet Chin Music, as far as a finisher go, I think I prefer to the pedigree. Partly.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the pedigree very much.
No.
But. Well, no, Sweet Chin Music is one of those things that everybody remembers.
Yeah, but it's the same as...
Shawn Michaels is down, the other guy's like coming over, he stands up, he goes pow with the super kick, and they goes, and Jerry the King will go, Sweet Chin Music, or something like that. Yeah, but everyone remembers it.
It's the same thing as we mentioned with Orton and the RKO, you can hit Sweet Chin Music from anywhere.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what gives it its iconic... That's what gives it its iconic status. The fact it's really fast, it's instantly recognisable. It doesn't take much to understand. Like, he's just kicking you in the head really hard, and it's just so it's just one of those things that everybody can latch onto. Everyone can understand. You can understand an RKO. Randy Orton comes up from behind you or in front of you, grabs you and puts you into his shoulder, puts you on the ground.
Exactly.
HBK stands up, kicks you in the head, bam. Other Sweet Chin Music, as they say. So, I'm happy.
He's going Rotacular.
Yeah, put him Rotacular. I'd say even put him next to Triple H.
Behind or above?
Behind.
Yeah.
Just to say, because I've seen Triple H. I know HBK was involved again with Randy Orton in 2020. He was in sort of the Legend Killer storyline where Randy Orton's like, I'm going to hurt all these legends really bad, like Big Show and like Ric Flair and like Shawn Michaels. But then Shawn Michaels sort of turned up and gave him a super kick a couple of times.
Yeah. And
he was in that sort of... was it the Saudi Arabia match with Triple H and Undertaker? Kane was there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of old man match.
The least said about that match, the better.
Yes, and the least said about Shawn Michaels was selling a punt kick better. So let's move on. Now, this next guy is one of my favourite wrestlers. But I will let you speak first on him.
Yeah,
I'll say that unfortunately he was released in the sequel to Black Wednesday about a couple of days ago as we're recording this. A humongous sacrifice not only to the commentary team but also to the company as a whole. And I personally am just he shouldn't have gone. I'm really sad about it. But I'll let Corey speak first.
Yep, so Samoa Joe came in NXT first.
Yeah.
Did some stuff there, became NXT champion, eventually moved up to main roster, and was involved in some high up matches. I believe he won. Was it the IC or was it US? Or was he won both?
I know he was NXT champion.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah.
I think he won the US. He might have won the IC, but I think he's definitely won the US. Had a couple of injuries along the way. Hasn't been seen on TV in a wrestling role recently for a while due to injuries. Took up the Raw commentator role. I know he debuted on Raw with, who was it? Orton, Jeff, Ali, and a couple of others were in the ring, and he came out and called them all out. Which is probably his best promo he's done in the company. Great mic work, great mic skills, great wrestler. His submission is lethal looking. His offense is great.
It's called the Kojina Clutch.
Something like that, yeah.
They call him, he's the Samoan submission machine, that's his name. And he's just a big Samoan guy. And it's like Bobby Lashley's Hurt Lock. He doesn't have to be, really wily and really fast to try to, get you in an armbar or whatever. He's just a big man with big arms who can just wrap you up and take you out. And not in like a romantic sense, like in a, prevent air from getting into your head.
I mean,
I'd like to be taken out by Samoa Joe. I think he'd be very romantic. Take you on a nice date out on the town.
Wasn't he part of an angle where he literally, I swear, is like a weird segment on Raw or something where he took someone out for dinner?
All I can remember is him going into AJ Styles' house and shouting, "Oh, Wendy." That's the meme, isn't it?
Yeah, in fact, yeah, because that's it. AJ was also there in Samoa Joe's debut because he asked AJ Styles, "How is Wendy?"
Yeah, and then he shouted, "Oh, Wendy," into the camera. "Oh, Wendy." I know that.
But I mean, he's good at what he does. He's
fantastic.
What's his other finisher called? No, the one where he puts him on his back.
Oh, I don't know. I only know the Kajina Clutch.
There's the one where he puts him on the back. It's a Buster. It's not a Bronco Buster. That's X-Pac. He does that, and I like it. It's kind of good. It's cool when he does it. It's a bit weird because why would you jump on your own bum to hurt someone? It's one of them weird ones where it doesn't quite look effective.
Why would you?
But no, he is good at what he does. He did commentary. He's good on commentary.
Yeah, you know what? Joe on commentary, something that I maybe wouldn't want to have seen, but also I'm glad I saw it because Joe could really put people over, and Joe sounds like he's actually talking about a wrestling match. It doesn't sound like he's talking. It doesn't sound like he's talking about sports entertainment or whatever. He sounds like he actually gives a shit. Like he's talking about like an actual sports competitive bout that's going on in the ring. Like he's going, "Oh, look at that ankle lock," and "Oh, he's turning it into another hold or something," and "Oh, he's got a clothesline," or something like that. He just sounds like he's actually giving sports commentary because he knows about it because he's been in the ring. And as I've said, I always trust the word of people who've actually done it more than people who just know about it. But that's another point for another time. I think that Joe on commentary's been really innovative. I think he's really clear and crisp. I think that he's got great promos, and that really helps him to sound like he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, I was really happy with Joe on commentary, and it sucks that they got rid of him. But you know, I'm happy to see him turn up in AEW, turn up in New Japan, wherever he wants to go.
Where would you put him?
Where I put him, he's going to go Rotacular. No argument about that.
Okay.
But should he go? This is the old adage of the real show: top sizzling or bottom Rotacular.
I think he'd be better in a top position.
Right. So you're happy to go top sizzling?
Yeah.
Right, top sizzling and Samoa Joe.
He's front of the pack if he's here.
Yeah, he's top of the pack in sizzling. Yeah, he's top of the pack in sizzling. So I always think when you're ahead of everybody else in your respective sort of tier list bar, then you're the head of that.
Yeah.
You're the top of that line, and Samoa Joe is the best of sizzling. So now who's that next? That's quite an interesting picture you've got there.
That's Sheamus.
Ah, yes, Sheamus. I can't believe we left Sheamus until so far. That's
Sheamus when he beat Drew McIntyre and is standing above Drew McIntyre.
It's the Celtic warrior, the Irish man. He's got great hair, great beard.
Yeah.
There's not been much beard talk in this.
I was about to say, yeah.
And there are some great beards on this roster. Look at the Viking Raiders.
I was about to say, look at Ivar's beard. Look at that beard.
Yeah. Look at that beard. Look, we've got MVP's got a good beard. Triple H has got a good beard.
Triple H has got a good beard. Cedric's doing alright over there.
He's got a good beard. Jackson Riker, not too bad. Yeah, pretty good beard. Booker T, another good beard.
Joe's got like a goatee going on.
Yeah, he's got like a goatee, soul patch going on. I like that. I like Triple H's beard. That's my favourite beard. I like it's a real big, bushy, long beard.
Well, everyone makes a joke about how it is like Kratos.
Yeah, exactly. God of War, badass. Kratos beard. Yeah, that's what you want to see, boy. That's what you want to see. But okay, we're going to go back to Sheamus now. From the beard interlude. This was the real show, and the beard interlude. Where the real show pauses and we talk about beards.
I don't think you'll be getting that on the Raw Women's roster.
No, we won't be talking about beards. No, there'll be no beard talk. Right. This is what you get when you listen to the men's roster videos talking about beards, right? Sheamus, good in the ring, love the brogue kick, a kick heard around the world, great matches against Daniel Bryan. Most recently, he won the it was the IC belt, wasn't it?
No, the IC belt's the one he hasn't won.
Oh no, which one was it? What did he win at WrestleMania?
United States.
United States. Oh, I knew it was either the IC or United States. Damn.
The IC belt is the only belt he needs to then have won everything he could have done.
Oh, Grand Slam champion is what they call it.
Well, no, he is still Grand Slam because United States counts, but like Edge has won everything he can. Edge has won IC, King of the Ring, United States, Rumbles, etc.
Yeah. So
not including the Rumble, all Sheamus needs is the IC belt, and he's done everything.
So he beat Matt Riddle at WrestleMania 37 with the brogue kick, and he got the United States belt. Sheamus is a very effective heel. He looks tough. He looks mean. He's got that Irish flavor, Irish style. He's jostling around the ring. He's cocky. He's confident. I like it's very intense style of promo. Like he always sounds like he's gonna go in that ring. He's gonna beat you up. He's gonna talk about it. Yeah. He's good in ring. He's always fun to watch, and he's in general he's fun to watch as a heel. Sheamus is one of those guys who could always see as the effective heel. I've never really seen Sheamus as a babyface, even when at the bar, which is one of the greatest things Sheamus has ever done.
Yeah, true.
What's your opinion?
I think Sheamus is maybe underrated is the wrong word, but underrated is correct. Underutilized, no, because he's United States champion. He still gets used.
Yeah,
but I think underrated, yes.
Utilized, but you can still be underrated. I think.
Yeah,
because it's when not a lot of people talk about you.
Exactly.
Not a lot of people are talking about Sheamus, but we know Sheamus is really good. It's like that thing where. I can't think of a comparison recently, but there's always sometimes when matches happen, somebody stands out. It's not because their opponent is bad, but it's just because maybe the performance from the person that won or whatever is more standout, or you didn't expect it. Like not a lot of people talk about Sheamus in a Sheamus match. That's because everyone knows Sheamus is already good.
Yeah,
that's the point I'm making. And for that reason, I'd say he'd make sizzling behind Samoa Joe.
I think you're correct on that one.
He's been in the business long enough. He's one of the icons of present day WWE. So put Sheamus there, bang. Now here he is, Mr. World Slide. It's. Who is it?
It's Titus O'Neil, Murray.
Titus O'Neil. You're still laughing from that World Slide comment. It's Titus O'Neil. It is Mr. World Slide.
Not the first time he's fallen over. Funny enough.
He's fallen over again. He keeps slipping. He's never gonna live that down, is he?
I mean, there's the other video of him running with a keg, and he fell over with a keg from NXT.
I remember that. That was in NXT.
Yeah.
Back when NXT was like a game show.
Exactly. Who was it? Someone was doing an interview. Might have been Orton. I don't know who it was. It was someone in Debris, and they were talking about Titus, and they were on about how if you go back on NXT, when NXT is a game show, like when there was that whole like challenge thing of you had to carry a keg round in a circle, whoever carries it the fastest wins. They were like, oh well. No one's going back to go watch Daniel Bryan. They're going back to watch Titus because Titus fell over, and it's like he is now the most known thing from that NXT like part of the thing. Like how the Raw Slide was massive. No one's talking about Braun Strowman winning the belt. Or I won the greatest Royal Rumble. No, everyone's talking about Titus who just slipped under the ring.
It was Titus who fell over, and the fact that Byron Saxton continually wanted to move on and skip over it, and Corey Graves wouldn't let him. To the point where they had a slow motion footage playing while the match was going on. They had a slow motion footage playing off the slide. Then immediately Byron Saxton's like, "Oh, that's very unfortunate." And Corey Graves is like, "Look, we've got the slow mo." and Corey Graves would not stop laughing about it. And I think that's great when they just when it's a botch, when it's a goof, but it's funny enough to overlook. It's funny enough to go, it's unfortunate, but it's still funny as hell. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I like Titus as a wrestler. He's one of the hosts of WrestleMania 37 most recently, along with Hulk Hogan. But yeah, I'm a fan of Titus. I think Titus is, I like his character of like the important guy. He's really, he does loads of important stuff.
He was at the Hall of Fame.
He slips and slides under the ring.
He was at the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is. He is in the Hall of Fame.
He was a Warrior Award winner of 2020.
Yes.
I'm going to put that out as well. Yeah, I mean, I like Titus. Again, theme song. Really good theme song when he was a heel.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know. I remember.
He was part of... what were they called? Millions of Dollars with... That's going to bug me now. What was that tag team called?
What, the Titus was in?
Yeah.
No idea.
Thanks. Oh, what was it? That's going to bug me. Right, okay, you know the Nexus, right?
I do. Is it the Core?
No.
Oh no, because they came out of the Nexus.
No. There's a guy from the Nexus who he teamed with, and I can't remember the name of the.
Oh, was it that short fellow?
That short fellow.
Yeah, there was a short lad in it. Remember, there was Wade Barrett. There was Daniel Bryan was there. The MMA guy was there.
Uh-huh.
I know Bray Wyatt was there. There was David Otunga. I can't quite remember anyone else, but
that tag team.
I'm sure it was
Prime Time Players.
Who?
Prime Time Players. That's what they're called.
Prime Time Players. Okay,
Darren Young
cool.
is the guy who he teamed with.
Who?
Darren Young.
Darren Young. Tip of my tongue.
I mean, the point I was going to make was I loved that tag team. They'd huddle together and I got millions of dollars. They were great. I love it. To be fair, he has charisma when they use him. I will admit, his like current chant of like the hurrah, hurrah, hurrah thing that he's doing in the picture, I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
He's good.
Actually, I remember that when he was in the when he joined the Royal Rumble, he got in. Not the one where he slipped over, the next year.
Yeah.
The next year he did it. He was, doing the chant. He was coming out. Everyone was really hyped. Titus is one of those guys that, everybody knows him. Not a lot of people talk about him, but when he comes out, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Titus has turned up." Everyone gets really happy about him when they see him, when he's out there.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that's so magnetic in his presentation that whenever he comes out, sure, you might not have been thinking about him, I don't know, 5 minutes ago, but when he's out there, he's all you can think about. So,
puts a smile on your face, doesn't he?
He does. He's fun. He puts a smile on your face in a good way. So, yeah, I'm happy for Titus to go sizzling or go Rotacular. I think, but maybe sizzling.
I don't know if Rotacular's quite where he should go.
I think Rotacular's pretty much locked now.
Yeah.
I think.
I ain't gonna lie. The next 3 people after Titus probably aren't gonna go in there.
No, sorry, Tom Phillips. Anyway, but
that was a bit of a dig at Tom Phillips.
Or make sizzling.
You know what? I think he's better than the Viking Raiders, so I don't mind putting him bottom sizzling.
Right, bottom sizzling then. There you go, Titus. He's been in the company for a while. He's a good guy, always a good shout. So, yeah, there you go, Titus O'Neil. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah.
Now, you're going to have to talk about this guy, because I don't really know who he is.
This next fellow is Charlie Caruso. He isn't Charlie Caruso, but Charlie Caruso was released from WWE because for some reason, I think she was like late to too many stuff or whatever, and she wasn't turning up or whatever. Then they had a problem with that and they got rid of her. And she was replaced by this man, Kevin Patrick, who is an Irish gentleman. He's just kind of, the I've not seen much of him on Raw Talk. He's just literally turned up a couple of weeks ago. He's, the well-meaning dork baby face interviewer slash talk show host. He was at Hall of Fame this year. He wasn't in the Hall of Fame, obviously. But he was, talking to superstars and...
Oh, okay, right. That's where I've seen him.
Yeah, getting the reactions. He was in Hall of Fame. Yeah, looks good in a suit. Looks pretty nice. Seems like a nice guy.
Are we about to go on suit talk now?
Yeah, we're back onto the suit talk.
Rather than beard talk, now we're going to talk about
interlude.
Yeah, now we're going to talk about suits.
Where instead of beard interlude, we go to suit interlude and talk about people in suits.
I mean, I think we would know who has the best suit. That's not in doubt.
Yeah, but I don't think Kevin Patrick has the best suit.
No.
But I think he's okay. He's passable, decent.
Yeah.
Put him in decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, bottom decent. Just
bottom
decent. Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Whack him in bottom decent. There we go.
The commentators never get very far, do they?
Never don't.
Now, this guy is Tom Phillips, and he was in NXT, and honestly, he really annoyed me. He just seemed he wasn't as good as Bam Bam Bayar. But I think that he was okay again. He was just a generic babyface commentator. His smile really unnerves me for some reason. He just doesn't look like he always looks like he's putting it on.
Okay.
But yeah, I know he's just kind of like Michael Cole light, which I'm not afraid to say. I know that the Michael Cole shtick of being, the play-by-play sort of babyface announcer, but the audience always has to trust the play-by-play guy. So therefore, the play-by-play guy must always be face. It's the colour commentator who can be heel. Like Corey or like the King, like Jerry Lawler. The colour commentator can be heel, but the audience always must trust the word of the play-by-play guy, else it ruins the entire thing. Yeah. And as a face, as a play-by-play guy, Tom Phillips is decent. He's work on Raw, he's work on NXT. He's got enough to. He's done more than I'll ever do. So. For that reason, I think he'll get to decent, but I just think he's passable at best, really. Your standard play-by-play commentary guy. Nothing too special about him. What do you think, Corey?
He can do a good split.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him that. If you've ever seen any, it's a couple of years ago now. If you've ever seen any backstage segments where he's interviewing wrestlers, he's somewhat obviously. Standing with his legs parted and stretched out to make the wrestlers look taller, because I think he's a very tall man.
Is it? What is making? I like that, actually. There was something funny about that a few weeks ago. I won't mention it, but sometimes when they're doing like backstage segments, they'll put wrestlers next to like really short dudes or something that makes them look like they make the wrestlers look like they're 9'2", which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, like I think he used to stand with like his legs as far as to the side as he could, just to make himself look a bit shorter.
But surely you'd just like kneel down or something, or you'd like squat.
Yeah.
And just have the camera, Peter Cushing, you just shoot you from the waist up. But anyway, Tom Phillips, I'm sure he's got a good. I'm sure he can be very capable of his job, and he's proven that. I feel like. His relationship with Samoa Joe on commentary was as best as I'd like him, because Samoa Joe was like the colour commentator, but he was still face, and sometimes he'd get along with Tom Phillips, and Samoa Joe was like the tough exterior to Tom Phillips, as trusting, likable face play-by-play guy. I appreciate that.
Okay, so we're saying decent.
Yeah, decent. I think put him above Kevin Patrick, because Tom Phillips has been around for longer.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
That leaves one.
Byron Saxton. Now, Byron Saxton started off as a wrestler.
He did.
Yes, he was on NXT, very early NXT. But Byron Saxton was there. And Byron Saxton has become the, duck onesie wearing face play-by-play guy. Right? I don't think he's play-by-play. I think he's colour commentary, isn't
he? Yeah.
And he's always, talking about the babyface, and he's again. I have a lot of problems with the way commentary is done on WWE. I don't think 3 guys is too many guys.
That's fair.
I think 2 guys is always best, because you get one. So your play-by-play guy supports the face. Your color commentary supports the heel. That's as simple as 3 voices. Too many voices. Too many people trying to plug stuff. Too many people talking about Snickers. Too many people talking about Pizza Hut. Too many people talking about what's happening in the ring, to what's happening later in the show, to what's happening, I don't know, in 3 hours, to what's happening in 3 weeks when we get to the pay-per-view. I think we need concise commentary, and that can only be achieved by having 2 people. That's why some of the, as much as it's ridiculed, commentary on AEW often sounds a lot clearer than WWE, because there's not a massive mesh of voices like there is on WWE sometimes.
You get them situations where a lot of people mentioned it about Raw, where like you'd get 3 people, and who was on Raw before Joe? Who's Moxley's partner?
Moxley's partner.
Do you know his partner?
Renee Young.
But yes, that's the one. Like when she was on commentary, people were like, she doesn't talk much because she can't get a chance to say anything.
If she couldn't get a bloody word in.
Yeah.
Compared to, and I really like Renee Young.
So do I.
If she was here, she'd probably make sizzling, or because I really like her. I feel like she's got a fresh voice. She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Her work on the Mae Young Classic was fantastic. I'm a really big fan of Renee Young. Her podcast is great nowadays. Oral Sessions with Renee Paquette. She's doing really well, and her work in NXT speaks for itself.
I mean, like, I think NXT. I don't mind 3 commentators currently. I didn't mind Byron and Graves commentating together, because Corey Graves always take the piss out of Byron. I enjoyed that.
That was funny. I like whenever they get to
where was it? I think it was a WrestleMania or something, and Byron's like stood up, he's really excited, and it's every single time Corey Graves would just tell him to shut up. I thought it was hilarious. So it can work. NXT, I think, is fine with 3 people. I think Barrett does good. I think Beth Phoenix does good.
Oh, Beth Phoenix and Wade Barrett are, but they could do it themselves. I don't know who the third guy is.
I can't remember his name.
No, but I think Wade
Barrett
and Beth
It's
Phoenix.
not Patrick McGuinness, is it?
What?
I think Patrick McGuinness might be NXT UK. Patrick McGuinness was definitely a commentator.
Right,
but I don't know if he's NXT.
But I think Wade Barrett and when we do the NXT tier list, if you want to do that, Corey. But if there's enough demand for it, when we do the NXT tier lists, I think Wade Barrett and Beth Phoenix will probably get higher than decent for commentary positions. Like, look at Samoa Joe, he's all the way up there. But yeah, I think as much as I just want to have 2 people on commentary, three's a bit of a muddle, like you said. Renee, bless her, couldn't get a word in. But let's just bring it back to Byron. And he's your face announcer. He's your colour commentary. He's supporting the babyface. He sometimes gets excited with things. He's not Jim Ross screaming and roaring and by God and that kind of thing. As God is my witness, he's broke. Oh, I guess I've got to do the voice. I can do the voice.
You can give it a shot.
He goes, as God is my witness, he is broken in half. But yeah, you're not going to get that kind of thing from Byron Saxton, right?
Yeah.
But that being said, I think he's decent.
Yeah, so do I.
Just put him in the middle. To be fair, between Kevin Patrick and Tom Phillips.
Well, there we go.
He can go. You might go high. You can go higher than Tom Phillips.
So yeah, you know what? I think I prefer him to Tom Phillips. Yeah,
so do I. There you go. So that is our part 2 of the Raw men's roster with commentary and on-air figures included. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, watch some more videos. Thank you for tuning in to the real show today.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Corey.
Goodbye.